From gardening to animals to extreme renovations, welcome to Homesteading at College Hill Farm. Welcome back to College Hill Farm. Today we're talking about Japanese beetles. Every year about the 1st of July, the Japanese beetles show up on my homestead. Now, they are killers. And I'll show you the leaves here in a minute. That sun's tough. They're killers. So they will destroy your fruit trees. They'll kill them. And I'll show you the evidence. I've got a cherry tree that they defoliated last year and it's dead this year. They'll kill them. So you've got to do something about them. I don't like using pesticides, but it's my only option to keep them from killing every fruit tree that I have that's in the plum or cherry variety. They'll kill them. So let's take a look and see what that kind of damage looks like. Here I am in the orchard, and this is my plum tree. One of them. I have several. This is what the Japanese beetles do to them. Look at that. That's totally defoliated. Ate it down to nothing. And it's all the way down through there. And they start at the tips and move inward. You'll see that this one, and how do I know it's Japanese beetles? You'll see this one, it's eating all the way back to here. So they'll start on this part next. But look right here. Well, they like to drop off the minute you get close to them. Oh, here we go. There's a pair breeding. They are defoliating this tree completely. See, it starts here at this tip, comes all the way back, and they're down to here. And they've got a lot of the branches down here. The bottoms still are not defoliated yet, but if I let them completely defoliate this tree, which they will, it'll be dead next year. So really, let's talk about what my options are. All right, let's talk about our options. Now, last year I tried to go without using insecticide. I bought the traps that you catch them and it kills them. It uses a pheromone. That attracted more. Okay, it killed a bunch, but it attracted more. So that was not a good option for me. Some people say, well, you can spray the ground. These things fly 3 miles or 4. I'd have to spray the ground in a 4-mile radius to kill the grubs. They mate. You saw the two mating on the tree back there. They mate. They lay eggs in the ground. The eggs become little bitty grub worms. And then when they come out, they eat everything in sight. They're on my grapes. They're on my plums. They're on my cherries. They're everywhere. So since the traps didn't work, you can't pick them off. There are thousands of them. Thousands. And besides, I can't get all the way up to the top of these trees to pick them off. You know, in my orchard here, my trees are small. Now, I don't have to spray my peach trees. They don't seem to bother those. I don't have to spray my pear trees. They don't seem to bother those, or my apples. So I haven't had to spray any of those. But these plums and cherries and grapes, they love them. So what am I going to use? Well, I'm going to use pyrethrin. What you want to do is wet every leaf. I like to do this early in the morning while the dew's still on. That way it doesn't affect the leaves. But if I don't spray these trees, what you see here, almost the entire top is defoliated. And I've got 3 trees like that because they killed one last year. So they killed a cherry tree for me. This is 4 days worth of damage. Imagine what it'll look like in 2 weeks. There'll be no leaves on this tree at all. So it's either spray it or lose it. So I'm going to spray it. So I know some people won't like that, but it's not your homestead. Okay, here's our grapes. This is where they go with the grapes. See how they've been at them? The grapes, I've got a lot of grapes. I mean, lots and lots and lots. I've probably got 20 or 30 gallons worth of grapes on my arbor this year. But the Japanese beetles have started. So if I don't get these under control, the grapes will start turning black, because as the leaves get defoliated, the grapevine can't take up the energy that it needs to finish the grapes. So I need to get these things off here. And again, pyrethrin, and I'll explain why in a little bit. Now, for the record, this is what they do to a cherry tree. Okay, you can look at that leaf. It's just got all holes in it. There's one actively feeding. For reference, here's my pinky thumbnail. Okay, they're about as big as my pinky's thumbnail. They are not June bugs. They are called Japanese beetles. But they will defoliate this cherry just like they were doing the plums. So they get the spray. Okay, I've got all of the orchard done, and I sprayed the grape arbor. Now, the thing about pyrethrin and why I use it instead of some other stuff. Pyrethrin is one of the only things that'll control Colorado potato beetle. But you don't want to use it on your potatoes more than once a year, or else they'll get immune to it. They're immune to almost everything else. But pyrethrin is very quickly biodegradable. And what I mean by that is it binds with other chemicals. Pyrethrin is made from chrysanthemums. It's a natural occurring thing. Generally though, pyrethrin itself is manufactured because that's what they do, by chemicals, but chrysanthemums make their own chemicals. It bonds really quickly in nature with other stuff, so it binds it up and is not usable. So it's real fast acting and fast going away. So what I've sprayed today, 5 days from now, if you tested one of the leaves out there, you couldn't find a trace of it. So it's real bio-friendly as far as insecticides go. About the bees. Well, neither of the trees nor the grape arbor were in fruit. Nothing around them was in fruit or in flower. So it's not going to affect the bees, but always responsibly use your insecticides. Be certain to look at the label and follow the directions on them. Wear the appropriate safety gear that's required. Do what you're supposed to do. Now, if you like this stuff, this homesteading, self-sustainability, do-it-yourself kind of thing, be certain to come on out to the channel and subscribe. If you'll click this link right here, It'll take you to our channel and you can subscribe. There's also a link to our Facebook page there. We upload videos every Sunday, sometimes 1, sometimes 5, just depends on what's going on in the homestead that week. So now it's time for me to get on to the next thing.